This is Cult Faction Podcast, Episode 0, The Pilot.
Damien Hicks.
And we're here to chat all things cult, TV, film, cartoon, book, whatever you can think of. It's the Cult Faction Podcast, brought to you by cultfaction.com, which you can check out right now on the internet. And if you do get on there, at the moment, we have got a massive competition with fabulous films going on, where you can win the Lilyhammer Complete Series 1 to 3 on DVD. So get over there now, get entering, and see how you get on.
Useful if you want to learn a foreign language.
Definitely. And if you like snow, lots of snow.
It depends on the foreign language, doesn't
it? Many languages. Any language is a good language to learn.
Yeah, I had a bit of a mental blank and couldn't remember what language it was in, so I just...
Sweet.
I mean, if you want to learn
Swedish,
Welsh, it's probably not for you.
Yeah. It's like Soprano. It's the Sopranos on ice.
That's one way of describing it.
Well, is that ITV's new series, is it?
Oh, yeah. It will be.
Cross between Running Man and Dancing on Ice.
Well, there's a break in Dancing on Ice, so maybe that's what they're thinking.
How can we spice it up? More actual live death. Right, just before we carry on.
For $1.
Before we get too bad at this, we need to talk about our episode sponsor, which is the Fantastic Store, which you can find on Facebook under Fantastic Store IOW. Paul, you've checked them out already, haven't you? What did you find?
I found much merchandise, including so I guess the key things for me: working from home for a year, mug competitions on Teams, loads of different mugs, heat-changing ones from Back to the Future, which took my fancy. But yeah, there's quite a few on there, which may be coming to a home near me soon.
And Damien, you have the power now, I hear?
I do indeed. I already have Masters of the Universe, He-Man, Pop thingamajiggy winging its way to me as we speak. A bargain at $29.99.
Excellent. They've got all the pop figures, loads of comics, graphic novels, even cult jewelry and that. So go check them out. Fantastic Store IOW on Facebook.
And seriously, how many of those funky pop things are there now? I remember.
You're right.
2 years ago,
there's
like
too many. But
now there's for every scene on any film you can get. It's brilliant.
Well, do you know what? It's funny you say that. I was on that webpage the other day, and the first thing that popped up was the pop heads, and I thought, not more of these. And then there was He-Man. And so, okay, you've won me over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when they started, and I was like, these things are crap. Why is anyone going to want these? And now I'm definitely eating my words.
It comes back to the whole mug thing, you know. When you're doing Teams meeting, you need to think about your bookshelf in the background. Jon Snow's got his Byzantium and all that kind of stuff. Imagine if he had one of those.
Definitely.
It would certainly make a good
What haven't they made? What haven't they? Let's think on that. What haven't they made a pop figure of yet that we should have?
I bet they haven't made any Little Women figurines because no one would want them.
Apart from you, for some reason.
I'm sure She-Ra must be somewhere down the line. If they're doing He-Man, I'm sure
She-Ra's on there. If you have a look on there, She-Ra's on there. She-Ra is here now. The Princess of Power.
So it'd be interesting because they've done Ghostbusters, but it'd be interesting if they did the real Ghostbusters spin-off as well.
Keep all going. But I'm trying to think of that one show or that one film that no one's touched yet, probably for good reason.
Beastmaster.
Good shout. Beastmaster Pops.
Manimal.
Just about get the DVD for that, let alone the action figures. Rest in peace, Simon McCorkindale. Just trying to think myself now. I don't think they've done any for Ghost Dad, have they?
No, and I can't imagine that would be high on their list.
Chucky would be good, but how would you make Chucky into a pop figure?
They would find a way.
There's always a way.
That's true. They've made everything else. They made a shark.
Dukes of Hazzard.
got a feeling they're there.
Okay.
I've got a feeling. I've got the Battlestar Galactica ones. I had to, but original.
Watch.
But yeah, the pop thing goes on and on. What
the only pop figures where the chest is bigger than the head.
It would bang its head all the time.
Bobblehead Baywatch. There we go. So if you can think of any pop figures you guys want to see, let us know. What's not out there yet that should be out there? Email in, let us know. We'll see what we can do.
Make a petition.
Yeah, we'll start up. We'll grassroots people.
Draw them, send them across to us, and we'll judge the best.
Right then, going on to the news stories of the week. Okay.
Hang on,
Zack,
sorry, just before we.
Yeah.
Is it worth introducing who we actually are or anything about us? Feel free to say no.
We want to go through what the purpose is, like in the document where you say this is what we're going to be doing in future episodes.
What our mission statement?
Mission statement.
Yeah, modus operandi.
But right then, yeah, basically at the Cult Faction podcast, we're going to just be discussing various, as I say, cult things, film, TV, cartoons, anime, whatever's going down, even video games sometimes. We're going to have discussions. We're going to look at the news items of the week. We're going to have interviews with different people as time goes on. We're going to have watch-alongs, and we're going to have specific episodes where we'll have things like the Cult Faction Crossfire, where we will examine one of your favourite film, TV, cartoon, books, etc. And it's going to get cross-examined by our panel, which include us and other guests as well. And we'll give it a thumbs up or thumbs down on what we think. And we're going to be doing the Cult Faction recast episodes, where we look at a movie or a TV show that has been forgotten and sort of recast it for the modern era. It could be hit films from yesterday, or it might be films that were really bad years ago that we might actually want to improve on, and we think they deserve a second chance. So there's all sorts coming up.
That was ever made is being remade, so it's quite apt.
Yeah, it's actually harder to find a film that hasn't been remade at the moment. Just on today, they've announced as well that they're remaking, if anyone remembers, the 4400, that's being remade. But I was like, man, that show's really recent. They should sort of think about that. Then when I looked it up, it was over 20 years ago. So, yeah. Right, anyway, moving on then to the current news. And anyone think of Zack Snyder's Justice League Supercut trailer?
All right, honest question. Well, not a question that I want honest answers to. Who's actually excited about Zack Snyder's take on this?
I'm excited to watch it.
For what reason?
Many reasons.
Is it because the first version was so bad?
Would you care to elaborate on the many reasons?
The same reason sometimes when you're driving along a motorway and you see something, you just really have to have a good look. But the way I see it is, okay, the poor bloke had a family tragedy and he had to step down from the movie, and that is horrible, and I don't wish that on anyone. But it was terrible to start with, and they lost tons of money on it. They can pretend they didn't, but we all know we did, and that's before you even put in like the advertising fees and all that, and that they needed to put into it. And now they spent more money than it cost the first time to remake it, and it's going to be on HBO Max, so it's not even getting released at cinema. So they've got no way of making anything back. It's basically a hood ornament for HBO Max to get people to subscribe to it and get on there, I think.
Well, I guess the only thing is on the back of the first time round, the chances of the spin-offs for the likes of Flash and what's his name? Cyborg.
I don't think Cyborg's happening anyway. That guy is. He's known on many people and slagged everyone off.
But it almost killed off the franchise and subsequent spin-offs anyway.
It didn't almost. It did.
Well, Wonder Woman still kept going somehow.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was really good because everyone liked it because it was a bit like Captain America and it had a lady in it.
Okay, so you're genuinely excited about seeing this in its own right? I'm
happy to watch it.
Okay.
Will it be the absolute toilet that was the other films? Yes, but I'll laugh along with it at all its deep, meaningful things. And when he plays Jeff Buckley's Hallelujah, like he does in every film he's ever made, I'll sing along. But we all know what the ending's going to be. It's just going to turn out Darkseid's mum is going to have been called Martha, and then they're all going to go for a picnic.
Yeah, I must admit. So from the trailer, I guess, yes, it looks Snyder-esque. It's got the slow-mos, it's got the theme tunes. Steppenwolf's got pimped up outfit now. And so it's going to look slicker. I think the one thing that
does it? I think it looks like a shit video game.
Really?
I mean, if you look at the video games now, it looks to me like you're just playing one of these online.
Yeah, that was only because you're watching the YouTube on your phone. Put it on the big screen; it looks all right. But I guess the real thing that interests me is it's 4 hours long. And so I was worried that it was just going to be the same story with a few more in jokes or Easter eggs in there. I mean, the Joker's made an appearance.
Yeah, Martian Manhunter's finally going to be in it because he's the army dude. Oh, spoilers! He's the army guy who was sort of keeping an eye on him, but then he would be revealed to be Martian Manhunter. And I'm guessing they're going to drop a Green Lantern in.
Yeah, not the Green Lantern though. Not Ryan Reynolds, unfortunately.
Yeah, no.
That would have been sweet because he would have injected some real humour in there, which is something that Zack Snyder's not very good at.
Yeah.
Well, not in these movies, shall we say? But yeah, that's a shame that Ryan can Ryan because we're first time.
In these movies,
Ryan.
Yeah, I just call him Van City.
I'm just saying, these movies. What famous Zack Snyder comedies have there been?
No, but
I'm just saying. It's the way you said it.
So it's injecting comedy, which he doesn't do. But when you're comparing the likes of this to Avengers is the one thing why mainstream media and critics and public like it is because it has the blend of action, comedy, romance, clutching at your heartstrings as well. Whereas let's face it. Batman v Superman, and also this one now, which is being remade. It's dark. It's Batman, I'm dark, and Superman, I'm dead, I'm dark. Yeah, they're all dark. There's no comedy. Yeah. There's no.
So would you agree you totally missed the point of Superman?
Well, no. But apart from like some of the flash sequences where he's moving in ultra fast, and
the best bit of that flash was when he turned up in the Flash TV series when they did the Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's the best moment that Flash has ever had.
Spoiler alert, I'm not there yet.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, someone's going to turn up and you're going to be surprised.
Well, to be fair, I don't think I will be because I stopped watching all the Marvel and DC films a good 3 or 4 years ago. I can't take it anymore.
That's because there's too many
exactly.
Spin-offs.
It's not just that. It's just the hype. I used to love cinema when there was one blockbuster and that was it.
Which proves my point. This whole thing about the Snyder remake or rebrand or
Snyder cut.
Rehash.
The original.
The Snyder cut. This is his vision, how he wanted it.
Yeah, no, but so what?
I'm saying that as well.
Is it actually going to save it? No, it's not. All it's going to do is it's a pissing contest between him and Whedon saying who had the best film. And unfortunately, we all know before the film was ever made, it's going to be Snyder because the original film was, the one that was released, was rubbish on so many levels. However,
and also, no one's allowed to say Josh Whedon anymore unless it's 5 times into a mirror. So he's never going to get mentioned anyway.
Although I guess from all we've got from the snippets of the trailer, there is hope because let's face it, the storyline from the first time around wasn't particularly great. It was too easy to win. 4 hours long. We know there's going to be a twist. It's not going to be as easy.
I can't wait to see the same film patched together with 10-minute music videos that are deep and meaningful.
Yeah,
slow-mo.
But as I said, even like the snippets of the Joker, we know it's not going to be.
That's going to be the only bits he's in.
Exactly.
We've already seen
the cameo is you see what you get in the film because that's it. All right, there might be a little bit more, but.
Jared Leto, as good as he is, peaked with My So-Called Life, and he's never topped that work. In my opinion.
I genuinely didn't mind him as Joker. I think
it was alright, but he was his best moment was when he was in My So-Called Life with Claire Danes. TV show cancelled far beyond it should have been still going now.
Yeah, but his issue is Heath Ledger. Unfortunately, no one could beat him in this generation.
Yeah, but no one really has touched the work of Cesar Romero, have they?
I think that's why he put the caveat there of this generation, before
Yeah.
finishing his sentence, because I was going to jump in then as well, but I thought no, he's caveat. He's put his little caveat there of this generation just
This
at the very end.
I'd love to have seen a Cesar Romero in a darker flick, because I think he could have done it.
Definitely.
I know the 60s show was a bit camp and, it had its moments, but...
Well, with CGI nowadays, but you never know what's going to be around the corner.
You never know. We could have him as a guest, as a live hologram.
Yeah, so...
Kanye West can do it, then.
Yeah.
Takeaways from the trailer?
Waste of money, but I'll probably watch it.
I'll watch it. I definitely will watch it, because I think I fell asleep with the first one a few times. No, I mean, I will watch it. Just so I can.
The first one's done really well, though, because when I put my mug on it, it really keeps it stable.
Well, again, this will do really well because of lockdown.
Well, it's on HBO. You've only got to subscribe to HBO. Yeah, you've got to subscribe to HBO. There's no.
Yeah, but as opposed to watching the original on a repeat, which no one would want to do, at least this is a way of getting something new. And let's face it, last year wasn't great for making new films. They managed to make this because they didn't actually need any actors.
Oh, it's the draw for HBO Max, because they need something to draw everyone in, like The Mandalorian was for Disney Plus, but they needed that thing that people go, oh my god, and once everyone's seen it, they'll probably just cancel it or just download it anyway. But
I think my whole issue with the film it's just the characters. I've never got behind the new Batman, even the Superman. They're just so one-dimensional.
Well, Superman, I don't think you ever got Superman, and the worst bit for me was that in Batman versus Superman, they killed Jimmy Olsen off about 5 minutes into the film at the beginning. Don't even name him. You only have to remember him from the fact that he was in the Man of Steel movie. And then they kill off Superman's best friend and then don't even really mention it. He kind of has Superman has a bit of a paddy on the extended version, but it just seems the whole bit was just set off to then we could see What's-Her-Face's Lois Lane upset in the bath later on. So Damien, will you be watching the new Justice League film?
Absolutely not.
Okay, that moves on to our next item. I guess that, really. Our next item on the agenda, WandaVision. Have you guys had a chance to catch any of it yet?
First episode.
Cool.
Not really, because
you haven't gone down the rabbit hole yet. Then
no,
the first episode's
after
quite
a bottle of wine and some gin.
No, I won't say too much.
That's what I said to you. I'm just wasn't impressed. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate that, it advances. But to me, it was just like a 1950s American series.
Kind of the idea.
But I know that's the premise, and I know it evolves. But I'm just saying, at the moment, I've seen one episode. No. I need to spend some
carry on then. We'll check back in with you later. Damien, WandaVision. You going to check it out?
It's unlikely, because I refuse to bow down to the corporate whore that is Disney. So I haven't got a subscription.
Do you want my login?
Shouldn't encourage such a.
No, I'm allowed 4 things. I'm allowed 4 things, I think.
Actually, to be fair, the main reason I haven't got Disney Plus is because my telly's too old to take the app. So I thought, well, so screw you guys. Just because I was an early adopter of a smart TV, I now lose out.
Take it out on Disney that you've got an old TV.
Well, Netflix works, Amazon works.
Although I'm surprised they don't give you a free TV for the amount of charge for a subscription.
Damien, did Rod Hull try and fix your aerial? No, but I think you'd like it. It's kind of Marvel superheroes directed by David Lynch. I think you'd like it. Although I know you still haven't forgiven me for
Don't even mention the film. It's a film that should never be mentioned.
Mulholland Drive.
That's it.
Hands up, I will watch it. And
now I'm going to look for more
research
on Mulholland Drive. Thank you.
20 odd years later, and it's still there. Still my fault.
Go
so next on the agenda then, so we've covered WandaVision. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier's coming up. Did anyone check that out or care?
Question.
Yes.
Why make the movie?
They haven't. They've made it a TV series.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, but why make it? I mean, what is?
Well, because we need to cover.
It's another one of these spin-offs. It's like the stocking fillers for the actual presents under the tree that people actually want, just to fill a gap, isn't it?
I believe that is the main point. Yeah.
You know, but exactly.
It's another cash cow. They got to keep. You need to keep the interest.
That no one really cares about.
Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier.
Exactly. The bit characters.
Yeah, but
Not
he's
even
gonna.
the real
This is
Captain America,
this is.
just the new Captain America wannabe.
Well, to be fair, both of them have been Captain America at different points in the comics.
But that's what I mean. But they're not these characters.
The Falcon's run of Captain America gained lots of controversy in certain parts of America for him being Captain America, as you can imagine.
Yeah, whatever. Fair play to him being that character. But that's not my problem. It's just can they not think of anything original? They're just even digging into their own films to try and get the. I would be more interested if they could try and think of something new.
Well, they did, and you watched one episode.
Right, fair play. As I said, it was a late night after a bottle of wine and some gin. I will give that another go. For me, this feels like almost a Lethal Weapon wannabe, or it's got those two characters. Murtaugh and Riggs, is it, with wings? I forget what they call in these.
That was Claire Rayner.
But am I excited about it? No. Will I watch it? Well, I'll watch one episode to see how it goes after a bottle of wine. But I'm not fussed about it.
I see a theme developing. I'll watch one more bottle of wine.
I think that's a fair assessment to make, though, because I think part of the what I do mostly now is anything new pops up, I wait a season because I want to know if it's going to be cancelled or not.
Yeah. I mean, that's the good.
So many things I've watched that are like 3 or 4 years old.
Timeless, you bastard. Why did you do that?
Is that any good? I've seen the first 3 episodes of that, and I thought
it's a brilliant series, but it got cancelled.
Really?
But they did let them make a special to tie it all up at the end. They made like a 2-hour special to tie it all up.
I watched the first 3 episodes and I thought it was alright, but it almost felt like they actually needed Scott Bakula in there to really reinvigorate it. I wasn't blown away by it, but if the rest of the series are okay, I'll continue watching it.
It's really good. What I really liked about it, I think it's the first time travel series I can remember where having a person of colour on the team was an issue depending on where they travelled to, because a lot of shows just ignored that and just carried along with it, and everyone would go back in time and everything was fine.
Right.
So this time they actually made it.
Sam was there. He was black. He had disabilities.
Yeah, but they couldn't see him though. They saw whoever the character was. No, this guy, I always remember it was a bit where he said, we need you to, Rufus, I forget the actor's name now, but there's a bit where they said, we need you to pilot the ship for us. And he goes, don't you understand? He said, there's no point in history in America's past where it's a good place for me to be. It's just like, and I just thought.
And there's quite a lot of those little things as they're like walking down the street and stuff. I can't remember them now.
Look at him and glance him. Yeah. And that's the first time
I'll
ever seen that
to watch
show.
Do you think guys say it ends up well?
No, I wouldn't say it ends up well, but it's
it's
an enjoyable show to watch.
Yeah, basically in that 2-hour finale, you get to see all the things that might have happened sped up really quickly.
Yeah.
Put together into 2 hours. I think what might have been another 2 seasons sort of story arcs just kind of all got put together really quickly, but they got it through, and I think people watching it understood that so they explained it all. Okay then, so just moving on now, moving around the table. What have we all been up to this week? What have we been into? What we've been watching, reading, shouting, screaming?
Well, I mean, it's only Tuesday today, so when you say what I've been watching this week, not a lot. But in general...
Spoilers, people don't know that.
The Order on Netflix.
The Order, not seen it? What is it about? Tell us.
Well, as far as I'm 2, maybe 3 episodes in, and as far as I can make out, there's a college. There's a guy who's been accepted into college, and he wants to join an Order of Magicians. It's got werewolves in it. It does have werewolves in it.
I've seen I've run the trailer for that on Cult Faction, actually, thinking about it, on the main website, cultfaction.com, and but I haven't actually watched it yet.
So I mean, it's got a slow start. The first episode is slow. Yeah, it's aimed at definitely aimed at the teen market. But
What
I'm
isn't
40 and I
nowadays?
live in denial, so that I'm comfortable with that. But yeah, as I say, slow start. Direction's a little bit wobbly in the first episode, but it definitely gets a bit better, as definitely in the second, third episode. But I think saying too much would probably give away what it's actually about, because if you go in cold like I did, it probably makes it a little bit more enjoyable.
Cool.
So I don't want to say, I don't
Anyone
want to give away
in
too
it?
much. There's
Anyone
lots of
in it
people
we
in there.
know? Yeah, I mean, anyone in there of note?
No,
that
I have
might
to be honest.
pop
I
up
don't
on
think
the...
anyone I recognise. I'm sure
cool.
if you were to IMDb their
But
names,
no one that might
but
turn up
none
on
of
the
those
cult
going,
faction radar.
That is.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not strictly true. And I've purposely not Googled this because I want to have the satisfaction of at least another couple of episodes in when I go, that's what he was in. But there's a guy in it who plays the main lead's dad. He's definitely someone. But
someone we would know. Oh, I'm intrigued.
I'm not going to Google it, and it's one of those where it's kind of it's right on the in that little recess.
That's a groundbreaking fact for you right there, isn't it? It's got an actor.
Well, I mean, in my defence, I have a terrible memory for names, so
I know.
Just checking, it's not Michael J. Fox, is it?
No, I would recognise him.
Paul, what have you been watching, reading?
I guess we're finishing off Homeland season 6, so we can binge season 7 before season 8 starts shortly.
I think 8's the last season, isn't it?
Yeah, last ever, which is probably a good thing. They probably should have killed it off a couple of seasons ago. I think they've been dragging.
What's the main concept of Homeland for anyone who's not familiar with it?
CIA operatives fighting the fight against different terrorists. They've moved all over the globe, whether that's Syria or in Germany at the moment in season 6. Terrorist plots, trying to foil them, insiders, all that kind of good stuff. So, yeah, I think Jack Ryan type stuff, but with Claire Danes as the lead.
Claire Danes, who probably did her best work in My So-Called Life, I believe.
Funny how it
all goes round, isn't it?
I mentioned that earlier, yeah. Again, it's got the fella from Billions in the first few series as well. Looking forward to seeing Billions' new series when I can stream that. So Homeland. I guess the other thing, when the wife goes to bed, Netflix and all that kind of stuff. So watched interesting thing actually last night. Because it's not about vampires and it's not about werewolves. So no disrespect to the one that Damien's watching. I'm just a bit fed up of them over the last 20 years. And this is called... Just
remember, though, about 5 of those films where they sparkled don't count as vampires. But carry on.
Yeah, this one's called I think it's The Invisible City. So this is more about... so whilst late at night as well, I've been delving into some of the foreign films that are on Netflix as well, because I don't mind some subtitles or some dubbing, whereas the other half despises them. So so I watched Alive last week, the zombie film, whether it's Korean or Japanese, I can't remember, but that was quite cool, just because there's different spin on it. We all know zombie flicks, but this one's slightly different, where there's two people in different flats that have to try and escape, and they meet up, or do they without giving
okay.
That sounds a bit like Wreck.
Yeah, it is quite similar, but again, no disrespect to Western cinematography, but Eastern cinematography puts a different spin on things. Whether that's
have you seen Train to Busan yet?
Yeah, so I saw Train to Busan. Loved that. Watched the new one. Was kind of disappointed, but as soon as I started playing, when it was Train to Busan introduces, and it's like, oh god.
Well, it's in that universe, isn't it? It's
even the second one was quite watchable.
Yeah, I liked the second one. Wasn't as good as the first one, but
yeah, but Alive was quite good. Just a different spin on a zombie take.
Cool.
But as I said, the Invisible City. So I won't give too much away because there's not much to give away at the moment. But there's some deaths going on.
Is it invisible?
Yeah, no, but the thing about this, as opposed to being vampires and werewolves, this is more, think about Clive Barker type genre. So it's like more myth and legend and people turning into animals or that kind of magic-y stuff. So it's like there's another world just behind ours, and sometimes people break through and have that relationship. As I said, it's a bit different as well because it's set in Rio de Janeiro. So as opposed to seeing the streets of London or New York, it's just a different set as well.
I didn't think zombie, alien, or anything other attacks happened outside of New York or London.
No, but that's what I'm saying. This isn't zombie.
Yeah, no, I like it.
This is back to old school myth and legend. So it's more as I said, more think Pan's Labyrinth and Clive Barker Nightbreed as opposed to anything else. My one concern though is that it's not going to be as dark as I'd like it to be from the first episode. I think they've tried to make it more family friendly, more X-Files as opposed to what could really make it shine, which would be a R-rated.
X-Files wasn't necessarily family friendly in the earlier days. It just sort of became that as everyone started watching it, and then
no, but you know what I mean.
Totally.
It's that they could make it really cool. As I said, Pan's Labyrinth or Clive Barker Nightbreed. It's got that kind of could have that feel to it. But as I said, it's it's good acting for a change as well, which is nice in some of these Netflix spin-offs or these series that they've invested money into. Just say, that's the one. Wandering Earth as well. Gave that a watch. I read the book a few years ago, and again, it's another one of these films based out of the East, which again, good quality. Let's face it, the CGI and the special effects have improved somewhat over the last few years, it's. Again, really good film, apart from the fact which always plays on me, and I'm not going to give anything away because this is the premise of the whole film, that the Earth's about to die because of some issue in the solar system. So as opposed to up in sticks and creating a spaceships and flocking off, they decide to move the whole planet by creating boosters over the globe and shifting the whole planet. And to me, that just bugs me.
To be fair, I mean, if there's some issue in the solar system, I don't think it's far of a leap to then get to rocket boosters to propel the planet. I mean,
Does the moon move with it, or do they have to put some on the moon as well?
As opposed to the likes of Silent Runnings, which was really let's create an arc and for probably a tenth of the price that these boosters would cost, and then all the underground storage and civilization habitats and all that kind of stuff. But as I said, that was all right.
Depending on what way the planet moves, what happens to people's birthdays? Do they get older quicker, or do they get older longer?
I think it depends on when you were born.
Because the time around the sun's going to change, isn't it? Oh, that's cool. That's some good mixes. I've written those down, so I'll have a look at those. I've been enjoying the Arrow Video app, which is about 30 quid for a year, and basically there's loads of cool stuff on it. I watched Reanimator, the uncut definitive edition,
for
the first time.
On Facebook.
Yeah, for many years I haven't seen that, and it still holds up. And it was really weird how many people in it are actually probably more famous nowadays, or more famous in our neck of the woods of just being those people in those films. But really good. I was impressed with it, and still a lot of blood and guts in it, but it holds out. It didn't come across as too cheesy. There was a bit of cheese in it. Then I watched an amazing film that you all need to check out, because I probably need to watch it again just to work out what the hell it was about. It's called Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway.
Hang on, you broke up a little bit there.
Oh, so it's called Jesus.
No, you said that.
It's called Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway. I've done a feature for it. It's under the Cult Movie Essentials section now on cultfaction.com on the website.
Has it got John Landon in it?
No, it's got no one on it. I believe.
Not even Morgan Freeman as God.
No, it is. how can I even describe it? It is a kind of secret agent espionage type film, and the poor bloke's got a little hunchback thing, and he really has. They've employed someone who's an actor with that, and then they kind
That's
of
good
have
for
this
him.
world called the Psycho Book, which is a bit like plugging into the Matrix and going online. So it's kind of a bit like the Matrix, a bit like that one, Inception. You know, it's a dream within a dream. So he doesn't realise he's in. But when he goes into that bit, it's still all human actors, but they move in stop motion and have big faces, like cardboard faces. So it almost looks like GoldenEye.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, pretty much. So I was well into that. And
Matrix 4, are you interested in that?
I wasn't interested in 2 and 3.
No, me neither. Again, first one, that's it.
Yeah, they highlanded it. They made a perfectly good story that went from start to finish. It made some money, and then they just tried to milk it by shitting over everything that it's set up to begin with. Another film that you do need to watch. Are you ready for this? Psycho Ape.
Psycho Ape.
Yeah.
I'll make a note of that if I may.
There's a clue in the title of what it might be about.
Wasn't this Project X?
No. Psycho Ape is basically it's
about an ape that goes psycho.
Again.
Well, actually, no. To be fair, it could be the latest David Attenborough documentary.
I'd love that.
About how the
I would love that. You know,
humans
outtakes from like one of Blue Planet or something where the apes start attacking the cameramen. Imagine David Attenborough having to do a voiceover to that. Look at these friendly God's creatures as they come to the cameraman and beat him.
That's David Bellamy, isn't it?
I don't know, what would you wear on the undergrowth?
I thought it was Chris Tarrant.
Hey, come on. I've only got some impressions I could do.
That's Psycho Ape. It was directed by a guy called Addison Bennett, and it's very. Do you remember the Troma films?
Yeah.
It's very Troma-y. It begins 25 years in the past, and there's a killer gorilla who escapes from Detroit Zoo, and he goes on this murdering spree.
Of course he does.
And he kills all these girls that are having a sleepover, because as you do. But the only girl he leaves alive is a girl called Nancy Banana, who's played by Kansas Bowling. There is a very interesting part in New York City towards the end, but it very much is one of these films you should enjoy with a glass of wine or something else a bit later at night.
Fine.
And you will love it. So I'd recommend that.
A bit like WandaVision.
It's more. I would love to say you were saying about Attenborough. I'd love to see Attenborough do a DVD commentary on Psycho Ape, because I think by the end of it, you'd have to lock him up because he would just be like. I think he'd get many flashbacks. Put it that way. And then TV-wise, Dead Pixels, which is on Channel 4 at the moment, season 2, about the same. I think it's the same people that made the IT Crowd or involved in that, and it's about some gamers who play a game and how it interferes in their life, and it's a bit rude and maybe not for our younger listeners, but it's very funny and very wrong in places, but worth a listen. And I also finished off
the same one that's to the girl that's in Ghosts, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah. And that's like the horrible histories people in it and all that.
Yeah, brilliant. Love that. That's really good.
And also I finished off Star Trek Discovery, because I had a couple of those to finish off. That was all right. It was in the future still. I'm liking that, because they can actually just do stuff without people moaning every episode now that they've ruined everything and the continuity's gone wrong.
And a nice segue.
Don't get me started on that.
Because Scott Bakula's coming back, isn't he?
Well, he's probably old enough to play an older version of himself now.
Yeah. I don't know what shape and form, but I saw some post on Facebook today that they're resurrecting him to play his role.
What was he in? He was in something recently where he basically played himself, but as like a Quantum Leap thing. It was a Quantum Leap reference, and he's cleaning the house, and the guy was like, "Why haven't you left?"
Don't know.
No, it was definitely in a show.
He did something like a CSI or something a few years back, didn't he? It wasn't CSI, but it was a similar sort of show. I don't remember.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, it was. I think it was. No, I'm thinking of. I think it was an Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode. And he's just
I've not watched that for years.
And they kept going on about it. Like, he's in it briefly, and then at the end, he's just sort of like, "Why haven't I left?" And it was just like that. But Star Trek Discovery was all right. It's the future stuff, and also, good cast. The Doctor is played by Wilson Cruz, who you might remember from My So-Called Life. He was good.
I think
I don't know
you need
how
to get yourself a My So-Called Life T-shirt. I think.
Are we sponsored by So-Called Life DVD set or something?
It's only I didn't even realise the links until we started this.
Just
And then
synchronicities.
Back to Damien. Did you say you had a book on the go?
I do have a book on the go. It's called The Last Smile in Sunder City.
Ooh,
It's the first in a series of kind of noir detective novels. How can you describe it? It's a bit like, if anyone that listens to Discworld, you can imagine the place that it's set in is Ankh-Morpork. It's that kind of feel to it, and it's about that kind of stuff. So you've got trolls and wizards and all that sort of thing. But it's actually written by Luke Arnold, who was in Black Sails, and I've forgotten the name of the character. It's one of the most famous pirate characters you can imagine, and I've managed to forget his name.
Blackbeard.
No, you both got it wrong. The one with the leg.
Long John Silver.
That's the Badger. So he played Long John Silver in Black Sails.
Oh, cool.
So far, it's good. If you like, but there is the downside is it's very much written like a noir detective private eye type book. So it's all those kind of silly little quotes and stuff. Is it? I opened my satchel on a cold winter's day. But once you get over that, it's
Robinson's
so far it's enjoyable. I don't know. I made that up as I went along. I don't think he's got a satchel.
I was there.
Mills and Boone made it. Mills and Boone made a fortune out of writing like that. Paul, anything else from yourself?
Books, loads of them.
Yeah. Go for it.
Well, I don't read at the moment. As I said, I don't have time. We're working from home with the kids. But what I've tried to do.
Is that a violin I can hear in the background?
What I've tried to do is do the whole audiobooks thing. Now, normally you do those on your commute, not commuting anymore. So using it to help me go to sleep. So I went on Audible, signed up, downloaded a few books and started listening to them. So Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, just cause,
I don't know if anyone's heard of that.
Well,
what's that about? Harry Potter, you say?
It's
Harry Potter?
Yeah, but it's just one of those things, Is it good narrator? A story.
Is anyone famous doing the?
No, some bloke called Stephen Pry or Bry.
Oh right, yeah.
I don't know. He might have a career.
He did a quiz show or something. No, was it a quiz show? Was it a panel show or something? I think.
Who knows?
I think you were right. Was it a quiz show? Was it a panel show? No, you're right there. Was it funny?
So also listening to Neil Gaiman again, or Gaiman, the Graveyard Book, Fellowship of the Ring as well, old school. June.
Have you checked out the Audio Sandman yet?
Not yet, no. And I'm also starting to listen to Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Can't tell you what they're all like because unfortunately I fall asleep.
There you go, folks. It makes you fall asleep.
Yeah. So if they do what they're supposed to do and they help you fall asleep, but I should have only downloaded one book and just kept listening to it because
just do the it's not token, is it? But just do
the
free book.
I've subscribed, so
but you get a free book every month if you subscribe. So that's.
Well, yeah, I do, but there's no point because I can't listen to them because I just fall asleep.
We'll just keep banking them.
Yes. I've been trying to finish Dune for about 20 years. Now I've got the Audible one. I've got about 10 hours into it.
I'm the same. I started listening to Dune. It's like
can't wait for the film.
Apparently, I listened to 4 hours of that. I don't remember that. What happened to those 4 hours?
They got sand in their boot.
Yeah. So
I've been listening. Oh, go on, sorry.
No. So that's what I've been listening to.
I would say on Audible at the moment, I've just been listening to Becoming Superman: My Journey from Poverty to Hollywood by J. Michael Straczynski, the writer who did Captain Power, Babylon 5, Spider-Man. He wrote a Clint Eastwood film. He's written loads of stuff. Sense8, really famous writer. And I'm about 17 chapters in, and this guy's life I have to say, needs to be a film on its own. I've got a feeling it's going to get a lot darker as well. It's all like his life and his father and his family history, and there is some. Excuse my language. There is some really dark shit going on for this
Dark
poor
shit
guy.
going on.
And like 17 chapters in, and it's just all this stuff that's happened to him or he's had to deal with already, and he's only just started sort of becoming a good writer. So I haven't even got to like the Hollywood years yet. There is a lot of horrendous stuff that would probably make soap operas like blush, because honestly, I don't know how he got through it, and fair play to him. And yeah, it's a really good read, even if you've not not a fan of anything even made on TV or whatever. But it's a really good read, and it's being read on Audible by Peter Jurasik, who was Lando in Babylon 5. Lando was someone else. But anyway, yeah, that's really cool. Anything else?
What's on the horizon for the upcoming week?
No, I just keep finding really weird stuff on the Arrow video app. So, do
So that's
something
a
very
rabbit
good for
hole
the
you
year.
maybe don't want to be going down that too often, by the sounds of it.
But they're bringing out everything pretty much straight on there now, so it's saving me a fortune in Blu-rays, if I'm honest. And it's very good for like a year. I'm spending that like a month with them normally.
So there's a couple of things that I had on my agenda or watch list potentially. There's something on, and I can't remember the name of it. I should have probably looked it up before this, but there's something on Netflix or Amazon where again it may not be an English speaking film. It may be a dubbed film from China or Korea, but it's set in outer space with these. I think they basically go around hunting or pillaging wrecks, and they come across
Sounds like Red Dwarf.
Similar. They come across a child robot, I think, and they have to either hand it in for copious amounts of money or look after it, or it's some weapon or something. It's got great.
I forgot the name of it now. We read the trailer on cultfaction.com. Yeah, I've forgotten what it's called now.
Right. Again, there's not much new stuff coming out, so I was tempted to spend a bit of cash and rent out Jiu-Jitsu because it's got Nicolas Cage, and it's going to be shit. It's not.
Hang on, no. Well, back there. Any film with Nicolas Cage cannot be described as shit.
Well,
he peaked at Peggy Sue Got Married.
Come on,
yeah, but I mean that's such a high peak that even when you're on your downward slope,
we all know,
National Treasure is good.
We all know that Nicolas Cage is out in the film wilderness at the moment. Yeah, I don't know what it is. And don't get me wrong, I love Nicolas Cage.
I believe it's called drugs.
Well, his films are on drugs. I watched Mandy, I mean, I still don't know what happened. It's so bizarre. Then
I heard Barry White's not Barry White. What's his name? Coca Cabana.
Barry Manilow.
Barry Manilow's not even in it. Nor was Barry White either.
It was Mandy, wasn't it? I'm sure the film's good. Yeah, that's all right then. Yeah, so that was just weird. And then he had the colour of something or other, which I saw the trailer to.
That's on my list to watch. I've not watched it yet. To be fair, it made the cover of 40 in time, so
I just wasn't going to pay any money to watch it.
It had a cool poster.
Yeah. Well, because it was colourful and psychedelic, which is again another psychedelic mixed up film that he's doing.
Psycho Ape.
Well, yeah, I'm surprised Nicolas Cage doesn't do a cameo in that.
It may have been the ape.
And now he's doing and now he's doing another one as well, which I've forgotten about, which is supposed to be equally mixed up and messed up. And you just kind of think, has he got to that point where he just doesn't care? He's just trying to help out some, fledgling directors or friends.
He's got a spending habit and a huge tax bill. So you just make films.
And one nostril bigger than the other.
Yeah.
But surely he could get some big budget films. I mean, yes, he plays the same character in every film, but that's why you go see a Nicolas Cage film. It's like where you go see a Tom Hanks film. They're the same, or a Keanu Reeves film.
Did you ever see the episode of Community when Abed had to study Nicolas Cage movies? And it's Abed. Have you watched? You've watched Community, haven't you?
I've watched a few of them. It's not.
Shut up, boy.
This is why I'm trying to choose my words carefully.
Well, watch the one where Avid has to study Nicolas Cage because it just turns him crazy in the end because he can't work out if he's a good actor or a bad actor. But no,
Well,
that's cool.
Nicolas Cage isn't really an actor, is he? He's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I think most of the things he's in, he thought were real. Con Air was a good one. Peggy Sue Got Married was good.
Yep.
Raising Arizona.
But there's no characters. It's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, but
there's
you can
so
say that
many
most
actors you
actors.
can say.
But that's what I'm
Jack
saying.
Nicholson's great playing Jack Nicholson.
No disrespect.
Yeah.
It's just, as
So
I
it's
said,
Christian Slater.
it's like Tom Hanks. It's
Christian Slater dyes his hair to suit whichever character he's playing.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson. He was a great Joker. No, he wasn't. He was a great Jack Nicholson.
The difference is that Jack Nicholson doesn't play roles. The roles play Jack Nicholson.
No, not everyone can be as diverse as Michael Ironside.
Oh, legend.
Yeah, oh yes.
Did I tell you he popped up in an episode of, or maybe 2 episodes of Criminal Minds, and then was never seen again? It's just
He can do that. That's what Michael Ironside does.
I was fully expecting him to have a proper story arc and everything, because it's like literally, because it's one of those things you watch and you just kind of binge it and you don't really pay that much attention to because it's a serial killer of the week type show, and then all of a sudden Michael Ironside pops up to talk to one of the lead characters, and you think, right, something's going to be up. There's going to be a bit of a story arc here. Michael Ironside's going to 3 or 4 episodes, and then he's going to be needed to be bailed out, or he's going to be bailing out one of the lead characters. Never saw him again. That was like 5 seasons ago.
That's because
Imagine my disappointment.
That's because Michael Ironside is meta AF. Because basically, when you watch all these TV shows like The A-Team, Kung Fu, where they turn up at the town, they save the day, make it better, and then ride off into the sunset. That's what his career is. He just wanders onto different TV shows for 1 or 2 episodes, makes it better, and then wanders off into the sunset, knowing that it's a better show now.
Don't get me wrong. I wasn't disappointed in Michael Ironside. I was disappointed with the show because it's Michael Ironside.
Because Michael Ironside came on it and then just basically made everyone else look second rate and then moved on. That's what he does. He's Michael Ironside. His middle name's fucking. It's Michael fucking Ironside. There's no debate on that. Oh, that reminds me of that. I've also been watching. It just made me think. Has anyone watched Resident Alien yet?
No.
No, hang on. I might make myself look really stupid here because I've only seen like a very small clip of it. But it's the guy that plays him. Was he in Dodgeball?
He's the pirate.
He was.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. He's been in everything.
No, it is really good. I think episode 4's this week. It might be tonight actually, or whenever it might be, wherever you're listening.
What's it on?
The Sky One, I think.
Oh, Sky One.
Oh, you'll probably be able to watch all the episodes on the app then, because that's what they've started doing that now as well, where they'll premiere the first episode but then make all the rest available.
Oh, well, it's not aware. I'll have a look at that.
Then,
might be the rest of my week.
They've done it with a lot. I don't know if they've done it with that one, but because I think ITV they started doing it, and then BBC started doing the same, and now I've noticed with Sky One a couple of things. They'll say, season premiere Sunday, the blah blah blah. Yeah. Then watch all the rest of the episodes the day after. I think they did it with Discovery of Witches.
Is that any good?
I watched the first season. Haven't watched the start of the second one yet. But the problem is I can't remember what happened in season 1, so it's going to be really annoying for about 2 or 3 episodes.
What's season 2 called? Because surely they've discovered them by now.
Yeah, but they're carrying on.
I think you'll find a Discovery of Witches is the collective noun for witches.
Oh, a discovery.
I might have just made that up, to be fair, but it sounded
good though. Yeah, don't back out now. It sounded like you teach English or something. All right. So
the other thing I've got for a Sunday is the Tom Hanks thing for News of the World. That's like Netflix or Amazon, one of the two.
Ryan,
do you know what? I was going to watch that, and then I stupidly read a review of it. And it makes it sound like it just plods along with not really a lot happening. So,
well, yeah, probably.
I'm not familiar with this. Please, tell me what it's about.
Well, hence why I phrased it. What
disease or trapping is Tom Hanks stuck with?
No, he's a cowboy. He's
done that before in 4 films.
Woody.
He had a snake in his boot.
So he's playing a live action cowboy then.
Basically,
that doesn't count it work either, does it?
From the trailer.
He bang a mermaid.
He basically goes from town to town reading the news. He doesn't do the images of like page 3 or anything like that.
be
But he
honest,
basically reads the
You're
news.
actually making it sound worse than the review I read.
I can't wait
But then
to watch
he
this.
he comes across the
Does Kevin
a
Costner play the
kid that's
postman?
been kidnapped or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, so it's him reading news, and while Kevin's like delivering the mail. You know?
Cool.
And then
And it
the whole place
floods.
gets flooded. No, but whilst that's going on, and the locals don't, or the sheriffs or mayors don't want him to read the news, they want him to just, read it certain bits. They're trying to, suppress the news, which Tom's obviously going to fight against. He also somehow manages to find a small girl that was kidnapped when she was a baby or something, and brings her along in tow. So it's got the whole Tom Hanks small girl relationship where there's going to be some bonding going on.
Is it like the other way around from Big?
Yeah, pretty much. Do I expect great things from it? No, but it's Tom Hanks. He's watchable.
Yes, but he has made some terrible stuff as well.
And he
Most
popped
of
up
it-
in a Carly Rae Jepsen music video as well. So
A lot of it involving Meg Ryan. Right then, so that about wraps us up for this week.
All right, so
Has anyone got any other bits they want to get in? Want to see what people should be checking out?
no, I'm going to watch Greenland at some point this week.
don't.
There you go.
Well, you're
don't.
going to watch that Tom Hanks thing. I'm going to watch Greenland. Screw you.
Oh, so yeah, I forgot to mention the fact that I've watched Greenland.
But just don't, because I haven't watched it yet, and I don't want to.
It's.
I get it's a disaster movie, and he's never going to be as good as John Cusack.
It kills an hour and 45 minutes.
Who's in it? I don't even think I've even.
Gerard Butler. No, but it's okay. It's okay. It kills an hour and 45 minutes. It's not going to rock your world. It rocks theirs, but probably won't rock yours.
I don't think I'm going to bother.
Again, Gerard Butler, it's another one of those actors that plays Gerard Butler in every film he does.
Sometimes he plays Gerard Butler with a beard. Sometimes he plays Gerard Butler without a beard.
With stubble.
Yeah, it's not a beard, it's stubble.
So what about you, Brett?
I don't know, really. I'm just Death in Paradise is always a must.
Awesome, love it. I'm way behind on Death in Paradise.
Oh, you've got so many treats in front of you.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Why?
Because
I don't think we're wrapping up now.
If
we're having a discussion about Death in Paradise, we are not winding this up.
The new lead in Death in Paradise, the guy that was off the Royal Family,
Ralph Little.
Cardboard acting. Seriously.
See, I think part of the problem there is the character that he's playing, and not necessarily because it's an annoying character, really annoying character.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, well, I know that is the point.
It just makes him look like a bad actor, and he isn't. He isn't. Don't get wrong.
That's what I was getting at. Because I think part of it is he's playing a one-dimensional character that is allergic to everything and only eats chicken and chips.
It's like your brother.
Yeah.
Which
well, really, with pies and fish and chip shops.
That was me up to about 14 years old. No, I think it's good. There's a double episode, like anniversary episode. I think you'll like a lot.
That's the one that's next on the list. That's how far I am behind.
Well, so again, we'll just take this time again just to plug our episode sponsor, Fantastic Store OW on Facebook. Go check them out. And obviously for all your latest news, reviews and whatever else is going down, check out our main website at cultfaction.com. But for now, we shall leave you. So it's a goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Thank you for listening. Any feedback? Send it along.
I'm sure there's lots.
You are recording. Okay.